Welcome to the Tau Beta Sigma Alumni Association Meet the Candidates. We are happy to be able to introduce you to the candidates for the 2025 through 2029 Executive Council. We hope you take some time to watch this entire video to get to know a little bit about the candidates and their platform. At this time, I will introduce my colleagues on the Executive Council. We have chair person myself, Dr. Thea Murphy. We have David Alexander, our vice chair and communications director. We also have Tyra Yari Holloway, our finance director. And we have Jessica Smith, our LAA relations director. We also have three energetic candidates ready to lead and serve here, and we would like to introduce them as well. I'm just going to say their names briefly because they'll tell you a little bit about themselves in the next question. We have Jessica Carswell, Evelyn Jones, and Rhonda McKinney, and I would like to thank all of them personally for answering the call to step up and run for the Executive Council. We're going to go into our first question. Candidates, first question. Tell us about yourself, including your personal, professional, and TBS journey, and share one experience that best represents your values as a leader. Each candidate has been randomly selected to answer the questions in order. For this question, we'll be going in the order of Jessica, Eve, and Rhonda. So Jessica, we're waiting for your answer.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jessica Barnett Carswell. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, proudly born and raised. I attended South Carolina State University where I marched on the Marching 101 from 1998 until 2004. I'm a former public school family and consumer sciences teacher. I taught high school from 2007 to 2015. From there, I decided to take my own advice that I had been giving students for years, which was you can do whatever you want to do. So I decided to retire from that career and open up our own business. Now, prior to opening that business, while I was a teacher, I was an entrepreneur, along with my husband, Isaiah. We had the company, which most of you all know as Software, where we sold a lot of Greek paraphernalia and gifts. We did that from 2006 to 2020. And in 2015, we decided to open what we call the Food Academy, and it has grown and grown and grown. And we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary on July the 5th. I'm also a current adjunct professor in the Department of Family Consumer Sciences in the College of Ag and Family Consumer Sciences at South Carolina State, and a nutrition interventionist professionally on a collegiate level. I also, within Tau Beta Sigma, as an undergraduate, I served as the vice president of membership. I served as a step master, as a treasurer, as keeper of the muse, and then most recently, the chartering president for our local alumni association of SC State ITB. While in college, I played the trumpet and the mellophone. And one leadership aspect that I really try to stand by and that best represents my values is transparency. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and that concludes my introduction of myself.
Thank you. Eve?
Good evening or afternoon, wherever you're at in the world today. My name is Evelyn Jones, but everyone calls me Eve. I reside in Russellville, Arkansas, and I am a life member of the Beta Nu chapter at Arkansas Tech University. I've been married for 13 years. I have 3 beautiful little kiddos. I am very passionate about service. I volunteer as an athletic coach for youth basketball and softball. I also do volunteer work within the local Boys and Girls Club during the athletic seasons. My son will be starting band this fall, so I'm going to be able to have more opportunities to help serve the band community at his school. So I'm so excited about that. Within the past year, I began competing in pageants to help build up my self-esteem and self-worth, as also being a role model and inspiration for my daughters and other women who struggle with seeing themselves as a beautiful individual inside and out. I do enjoy hobbies such as reading, crocheting, four-wheelering, playing video games. I enjoy going camping, going to Disney, of course. I am a huge Disney Star Wars fan, and I love my weenie dog because he's a sweetheart, and spending time with my family and friends. Professionally, I have 2 bachelor's degrees in professional studies and early childhood education. I just completed my 8th year of teaching in elementary. I've taught kindergarten, 1st grade, and I'm now teaching 4th grade literacy. I also am a representative of our building for our professional personal committee, and I serve as the chairperson of that committee for the next year. I also tend to volunteer for other school events throughout the school year. Within TBS, my journey has been a very interesting one. I became a member late within my collegiate career. I was only active for 2 years, but I took it by storm. I volunteered and participated in numerous projects. After college, I purchased my life membership and joined SWATA and began serving as soon as I could. I served on several committees, such as programs and membership, and then I stepped up into the role of membership director, which I served for 2 years. After serving on the executive board, I continued to serve on committees and anywhere else I am needed within Tau Beta Sigma's Alumni Association, as well as SWATA. One of the experiences that I have that best represents my values as a leader was when I served as the membership director of SWATA and as a member overall. Being able to think strategically, have effective communication between its members and officers, having and demonstrating integrity, empathy, and adaptability, as well as having enthusiasm for the work in our organization and providing empowerment opportunities for our members during my term of office and as a member of SWATA is part of my very much beloved experiences as a leader. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron.
Good evening. My name is Rhonda McKinney, and I am married to Frederick McKinney, which today is our 23rd anniversary. I have 2 children who are also band members. My daughter plays the trumpet, and my son plays the trombone. At their school, I am currently the band booster president, and I am also over uniform. So I help every day, every single day with the band. I will begin my 26th year in education this fall, where I teach kindergarten. Um, and I work with typical as well as special needs children. I began my educational career in Kentucky, where I started at a school for children with special needs, which helps me to cater to students who need extra support. I was initiated at Kentucky State University in the spring of 2001, where I attended. I am the 14th member of my family to attend Kentucky State University. Um, that is also where I met Mr. McKinney. Um, while at Kentucky State, I was in the marching band where I played euphonium, and in the symphonic band, which was my principal instrument, I played clarinet. I was also the treasurer um, in my in the chapter at Zeta Rho. Once I graduated from Kentucky State University, I moved back home to Georgia, where I continued my career in education. Um, and uh, while at my in my current elementary school, I do have a few leadership roles, which are I've been the grade level chair and the Sunshine Committee. The Sunshine Committee is where you build the morale and you help the teachers and the students at the school to have a great experience. And that helps with my leadership role, just ensuring that everybody is heard and felt and they feel included in all things that I represent.
Thank you. And Dave will ask our next question.
Thank you all for walking us through your backgrounds and your foundations for leadership there. So for this question, the order we're going to go is going to be Eve first, Rhonda second, and Jessica third. So the question we have here is, what aspect of the TBSAA strategic plan most resonates with you, and how do you plan to support or advance this area if elected? So Eve, I will go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dave. While all of the pillars within the strategic plan are worthwhile and meaningful, the one that resonates with me the most is the LAA experience. When we first get out of college and we're into what we would call the now adult world, even though we've been adults for a little while, we find ourselves often struggling with, what do I do next? So knowing about your local alumni associations and how we can continue to serve as alumni is something that I am passionate about. The programs that have been established within the LAA experience have also been very beneficial for this. The ACES program is a great way to continue to stay connected and engaged with not just your local sisters and brothers, but with the nationally based ones as well. Building each other up through these different programs, providing aid and collaboration to each other allows all of us to grow. The collaboration of ideas and efforts within local and district alumni associations has always been intriguing to me. How it can be take an idea from one district or from one local community and putting our own spin on it and making it successful for our sisters who gave us that idea is a wonderful thing to see, because sometimes you think it's not going to work for me, I'm over here, it doesn't work, but it can. You just have to do your twist. And I love seeing that success within chapters. We all have the same drive and motivation and purpose. So being able to work together and build each other up, and as of this organization as a whole, really is so inspiring. So if elected, I want to continue with these collaborations and work ethics, as well as to help provide information for its members in those areas that do not have or have a low number of LAA chapters, in hopes that they too can have the courage to see an ideal and seize upon it and follow it wherever it may take them in Tau Beta Sigma.
Thank you very much, Eve. We appreciate hearing that. Rhonda, question is for you now.
Yes, the strategic plan that most resonates with me is the growth and retention. Once I moved back home to Georgia after completing at Kentucky State, I joined the Atlanta Alumni Association, where I am currently the treasurer and I was the recording secretary. It helped joining AAA because it allowed me to see that there were more opportunities after you graduated from college. A lot of people think that once you finish college, that the TBS and Kappa Kappa Psi life is done. So it helped that when I joined AAA, it allowed me to see that there were more things to offer, more things to do, and more ways to be connected with the sorority, allowing alumni to have a track during convention to be able to mingle with the other alumni, as well as mingle with the active members. So it is important for alumni to know that you still have a voice, you still can be active once you graduate. So that would mean that I do enjoy the way that Tau Beta Sigma Alumni Association is going, because it does actually give us a way to continue to give back, a way to continue to share our ideas. So that allows everyone to just, to grow, and we can retain members, because we do feel like we are being heard, and we do feel like we're able to share and just give back to our sorority.
Thank you very much, Rhonda. And Jessica, the question to you now.
So the aspect of the TBSAA strategic plan that most resonates with me, if I have to pick one, as my colleagues have said, there's many, and the whole plan is great. It would be creating a finance and fundraising resource for the local alumni associations, with all of the work that the organization is currently doing to recruit members, retain members, get the ideal out that there's life after undergraduate for Tau Beta Sigma and Kappa Kappa Psi. We at that point need resources and specific standard procedures, SOPs, so that we can understand exactly what it is that we can do to keep the organization financial. We were very versed in doing those things as undergraduates. Now we're working adults. We have a different tax brackets now, and we have different priorities on our plate. So being able to fundraise effectively in a way that allows our LAAs to thrive in larger projects is very much a goal of mine. And with that being said, being able to create a resource that these LAAs, the existing ones and the upcoming ones, can look to be able to understand and implement effective fundraisers. So with that, I would like to see us tap into those LAAs that have been successful, that are financially successful and stable, and they have these resources in place and actually put these things on paper and in procedure in a procedural way that they can be passed on to other LAAs who don't have as much success, so that we can all equally be successful. And then another thing to add to that financial success is to tap into the pool of prominent sorority members, to ask them to then pledge their sponsorship to specific LAAs, so that they have a relationship with whatever LAA they're close to, or they would like to pledge their support to, and so that those LAAs would have consistent support, and we all doing better all together as one conglomerate.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all your responses. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my peer now, Jessica Smith, to walk us through our next question.
So balancing work, personal life, and TBSAA responsibilities can be challenging. So how do you approach balance? And what systems do you use to manage your time and commitments effectively? We'll start this question with Rhonda, move to Jessica, and then Eve. So Rhonda.
All right. I am a very strategic planner. I have an actual planner a physical planner that I write things down. I have them color coded with the work schedule, my children's schedule, my Atlanta Alumni Association schedule, things that my husband may have to do, other things at the band program that my son is currently still in. And I write them all down so that I can see everything on the monthly calendar. And we use that in my home, so we know what to expect, because I do not enjoy last minute things. I really enjoy knowing what is happening well far in advance, so that I can be present and prepared for the things that are going to happen.
Thank you, Rhonda. Jessica?
My plan, the way I plan to do it and the way that I already operate, is that I use a calendar app that keeps me up to date on what's going on. I can look forward. I can set alarms for events and work sessions that I schedule for myself. And along with that, creating workflows with the company and timelines. That's how I normally plan out my work and what I need to do. So all of that it coincides with my calendar. So I'm able to see exactly what needs to be done, when it needs to be done. I set timelines and deadlines for myself with my work. And then I also set work sessions, and they're contingent on whatever projects I have going on. So I'm definitely able to keep on top of all of my projects and my work using those methods.
Thank you. And Eve.
Finding balance within anything that you can do is challenging, but it's not impossible. I approach balance very openly and with flexibility. So when I'm creating my balances, I try to set up boundaries for myself, setting aside specific times for work and to communicate with others, lots of planning and prioritizing my duties and time, giving myself time to actually have some self-care as well, while also allowing myself to be flexible and adaptive to any given situation, because you never know what's going to happen, especially with today's world. When it comes to balancing my work, personal life, and TBSA responsibilities, I use a variety of tools very similar to what the others have already suggested. I've been using these for years, as they have as well, keeping a daily planner, calculating my time that's going to be spent on activities, setting deadlines not only for myself, with a given the head of the actual deadline that's given, because I tend to be a procrastinator. So then this is where I have my peer support and accountability. It's like, yo, have you done your stuff? So that's another way to help keep me on task of where I need to get things done, setting my priorities ahead of time. And these are just some of the very few ways that I try to manage myself with my commitments, not only to TBSAA, but to my family and work.
Thank you. These are something, this is one of the areas that I found the hardest in my transition. So I look forward to each of you, if elected, working through those challenges and being a support system for you as you do so. I'll turn it over to Tyra for the next question.
Hello, I want to thank you all so far for all of your responses to all of the questions. Very informative. I do appreciate everything that you all have said thus far. And so my question is, imagine it's the end of your term on the executive council. What impact do you hope to have made, and how would you measure success? And the order that we will answer you all will answer the questions is Eve will be first, Jessica will be second, and Rhonda will be third.
All right, thank you. For this question, it was really difficult for me to answer because I wasn't sure what I would like to have come out of it. I would hope that it's memorable and it's positive for the organization and its members. I'm doing this to serve them. I don't do this just because it's something to do. I hope to serve the organization in a positive manner and to have great outcome and experiences for its members, while also being able to help it continue to grow in the long run. I would measure the success of the term based on probably membership feedback, as well as numeric data for like fundraisers, membership involvement, and the overall program success.
Okay, thank you for that. Jessica?
Yes, so I'd like to see along with what's already existing, streamlined processes and templates for LAAs and alumni activities and involvement. Lots of times some people struggle with creating templates. They need a lot of direction. As far as what to do next, how to do it, that kind of thing. So while there are some templates in place, I know already, we can tap into the alumni and see what the need is, what they need help with, and create templates and operating procedures for those things. And that, of course, will be measured by impact surveys that we can ask members to complete regarding the new initiatives and the new templates that we put in place.
Okay, and Rhonda?
The goal for me is to grow the TBSAA and to retain the members. So in order to measure, I would see how many members that we have. If I'm elected to join, if I'm elected for the executive council, and then I will see at the end if the members that were there and the ones who chose to become members if chosen to be on the executive council, if they're still there at the end of the term. While on the executive council, I would, like Jessica said, do surveys, especially after activities, to see if they enjoyed those activities, to see if that's something that they would want to see again, see if it's something that they enjoyed, something that made them want to continue their membership. So that is definitely, one thing that's really big for me is making sure that people stay once they join the Alumni Association. So So that's really big for me, just making sure we keep all our members and grow our membership.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank all of you for your answers to the question. And I will turn this over now to Dave.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. We are up to our last question. And so the order for this question is going to be Rhonda first, Eve second, and Jessica third. The question is, describe a meaningful leadership challenge you faced and how has it shaped you in the way that you lead today, especially in a collaborative, service-driven organization like TBSAA. Rhonda, floor is yours.
As a member of the Atlanta Alumni Association, I am also the co-chair for the GBSI Scholarship Program, and that is a program that we have for juniors and seniors for their last 2 years of in high school. And it's tough because you have to bring different students from different high schools together. And just imagine here in Georgia, all of the band programs that are here, and you have to manage schedules, activities, the sessions that they have. You also have to manage the time with the Atlanta alumni members. They are the mentors. They are the people who give these sessions. The sessions are SAT, right? I mean, ACT and SAT session, the writing, the resume, and they are also mentors. So getting the schedules together for both sets, the high school students and the AAA members, to be able to work together is pretty tough at times. And it really became tough when all of our meetings and all of our sessions were in person. And then when COVID happened, everything had to be online. So we had to plan the online sessions, make sure everybody's computer is working, show people how to use Zoom, show people how to use the Teams. So, and I think now it has helped to where we can do a hybrid situation where if someone cannot come in person, then they can come, virtually. And I don't think that there was a lot of options before the COVID times. Everything was just in person, every single thing. So now that, sadly COVID happened, but there are some things that came out of that to where, we can give options and open things up to where if someone couldn't attend because they were out of town, they can also attend our sessions virtually. So here we are, doing our interviews virtually. So that helps to where, we're able to cater to everyone. So I think that would, that's definitely helpful.
Thank you, Rhonda. Eve, over to you now.
Thanks, Dave. One of the most meaningful leadership challenges that I faced was when I was the membership director of SWATA during the COVID years. Having to make those vital changes while trying to provide a meaningful and worthwhile experience for new, current, and upcoming members was a challenge. The whole idea of not being able to do face-to-face and doing the things that we normally would do just to get to know people and them get to know us and see what we're all about, to educate them, it was difficult, but it was not impossible. And as Rhonda had stated, some good things I think really did come out of it. And it's very beneficial and it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? So it was good to see that. Keeping that cheerfulness at those times and under those circumstances was something that I will remember and carry with me for the rest of my life, because that is a scary time, not only for myself and for my children during that time as well, and trying to figure out, am I going to have a job anymore? Are we going to teach at home? Oh my goodness, it was a mess. But during that time, working together with the SWATA Executive Council at the time, we were very supportive of each other. We did constant collaboration when it got down to district convention, trying to find ways to continue to help SWATA grow and to motivate its members and ourselves to just figure out how to do the projects, to complete and establish programs, while also trying to make sure that we were all safe. Really helped shape the way that I lead today.
Thank you very much, Eve. And then Jessica, we'll have you round out the question.
Thank you. So let me just start off by saying that, undergraduate Tau Beta Sigma really, really shaped the way I operated as a business professional in my current, in my current life. All of those ideals, all that work ethic really translated over. So I really am a huge proponent of encouraging people to join the organization and work in the same manner that, we traditionally worked in our chapter. More specific to topic, of course, there have been tons of challenges in life, right? With owning a business, with owning a food business, coming through COVID, all that good stuff. So you take all of that counts. But specifically for Tau Beta Sigma, starting our local alumni association was definitely a challenge. When we first petitioned, I think it was back in 2017, we were rejected because at that time Nationals was not allowing folks to start organizations at that particular time. And while some of our chapter members really wanted to been wanting to start a local alumni association for years, at that point, and this is complete transparency, at that point, our band program was experiencing a very abrupt leadership change. And we got together and felt like it was very, very, very important that we help to keep the foundation of student leadership solid so that it would help the band stay solid. And so we wanted to initiate an LAA and do that, officially for the organizations, for Zeta Eta and Epsilon Chi at South Carolina State, so that we could support not only the interim leadership, but the incoming leadership, and then also have a strong foundation for the students. We were denied, but the need was still there. So we talked with Nationals a lot, and I was in communication with Nationals a lot regarding still operating in that capacity, even though we weren't officially sanctioned by Nationals at that point in time. And we got their blessing to actually start a 501(c)(3). So we did that. We initiated members. We had activities. We operated just like we would as an LAA without the LAA status from National. And that, as you can imagine, created some questions among, some folks that we wanted to recruit. It was a very trying time to get started, to accomplish our goals, and still maintain what we needed to regarding Nationals. So back in 2019, I believe, 2018, we finally got the call from Nationals like, hey, you guys can now apply for our LAA. And so at that point, we were able to go ahead and apply for our LAA and become an active LAA with the National Association. So just that timeline in between was very trying, and it really taught us resilience and how to adapt to our current situation, but still get the job done and meet the goals that we had. And now our organization, and we are rebuilding and rebranding our organization after now, of course, COVID came along, all the things happened, leadership transitions, that kind of thing. So now really, getting a real boost under our organization and rebranding and just, thriving and moving forward. So the takeaways for that, for me personally, was adaptability and resiliency in leading adults who are volunteering. More compassion than I've had previously for other people's understanding and perspectives. How to lead volunteering adults, people that are not necessarily, they don't have to do this, they don't have to be there, they don't have to, come to your meetings, come to your committee meetings, come to your initiatives. These people don't have they don't have to do these things. So how to reignite that passion for the organization in those individuals. And then also translating the big vision to other people who can't really see your vision or see the vision as clearly as you can, and then igniting that enthusiasm in them, even in the face of great trial.
Thank you all for sharing and bringing your passion today to share with the members of our Alumni Association. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our magnificent chairperson, Dr. Thea Murphy, to give us a little bit more information about what to expect with the election.
Yes, I also want to thank the candidates for spending some of your evening with us and giving us some insight into who you are as a person and as a leader and your goals for the organization if you are elected. So I would like to share a few election procedures with those who are watching. First and foremost, this is an electronic election, and you will be receiving an email for election runner. So please make sure you are in the next day checking your email and your spam if you are eligible. Our eligible voters include our standard and gold star members. We have to have a quorum for this election, so that means we need everybody to vote. Quorum for this election is 313 members, so we need 313 members to let your voice be heard and cast your vote. Each candidate has to get a majority of the votes cast, 50% plus one, to be elected. The election window will open June 9th and go through the 15th, but don't wait till the last day. Let your vote be cast early. And we will share our election results on July 1st along with the Board of Trustees. This link here, which will be on the screen, is where you can go see the candidate packages. It was also in the email sent to you about election on June 1st. You can see their packages, as well as you will be able to watch this video. You're watching this video on YouTube. And to remind you, we do have 3 candidates for 4 positions. So we have 1 position that was vacated and it has 2 years left in its term. So we are seeking applications to fill this 2-year position. Here, the eligibility is listed on the screen. It's also shared with all of our members. If you have the call to serve and want to give back to the organization that helped you in any kind of way, email us your letter of intent, a headshot, a professional and sorority resume, and 1 letter of recommendation by June 15th. We need 1 person to answer the call for service or more, and we will announce that person also on June 1 after interviews. It is time to renew your membership. Remember, if you are planning to join us in Lexington for National Convention, you must have renewed prior to attending. July 1st is the deadline, really June 30th. We want everybody to be renewed by June 30th. So renew your membership today if you haven't, and thank you to those who have already committed to another year with us. And finally, just thank you. Thank you for joining us to learn more about the candidates, and we hope that each of you who are eligible cast your vote to choose the next leaders of TBSAA, to keep our organization strong, to keep it thriving, and follow us on all the socials. If you're not following us, follow us here. And our link tree, take a picture of this QR code and save it for later, because we keep all of our up-to-date information there. Whenever we share information, you can access it quickly via the link tree and also via our website. Once again, thank you for taking some of your day to find out more about our candidates. We wish you all a good evening or good morning or good afternoon.